And we are live at 5:25/7:25 Central from the Piranha Pond. I want to welcome everybody to the Piranha Pond StreamCast. I am your illustrious host, Kingfish Mac, joined as usual by the piranhas, all four of the piranhas, the goddamn pond. Down below, my baby bro, Mr. Frankly None Flyer. What's going on with your baby boy?
What up, world? I hope y'all are having wonderful evenings.
That's what I'm talking about. To the left of him, the best of me, my baby bro, Mr. Nick Nass. What's happening, baby?
Hello, world. All copacetic, baby.
That's right. That's right. And you guys know who brings the brightness and the bling bling to the pond, beautifies this bitch up. My beautiful cousin, Miss Nick Mo. What's up, y'all?
Come on, what's up?
That's right. Well, was looking. Well, here. I've noticed a very interesting phenomenon in social media since the passing of Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. After Kevin Samuels died, you had, people who were going to believe or felt however they felt on whatever side about him. And generally, these opinions were based upon the way that he interacted with Black women on his particular dating advice show. People said that he was very abrupt and curt, to say the least. Had to hurt a couple of feelings. My argument has always been, because I actually used to watch the whole shows. My opinion was that most of these women brought that kind of energy on themselves because of the way that they were interacting on his show, right? Either by the things that they said that he thought was just totally and completely outlandish, or disrespecting the way that he has his show set up, or just simply not wanting to fucking listen to the advice that they called him for. So he passed away, of course, we all know that. And what has happened is you've had a couple of celebrities as well as very popular YouTubers, as well as people who have just kind of found a niche to where it seems as though people are trying to fill in that market of what Kevin Samuels did. Because remember, we really wasn't seeing a bunch of dating on Instagram, dating on Facebook, YouTube type of shows. But do you guys know who Kendra G is?
Yeah.
I'm up.
Okay. So for those who don't, Kendra G is a very popular radio host. She's about 40, 41 years old. She's been around for a while. She found a new niche doing a Kevin Samuels type show on Instagram. She called it Singles on Instagram Live. It blew the fuck up. Now she does it on Facebook as well as YouTube. Melanie King is another sister that I really like because her mental positioning was kind of right along the side of, why are we tripping on men type of shit. Black woman, been married, has some experience in in the romantic market, and she's got something to say. But now she's got a dating show. Here, let me show you Kendra G's show right quick. Check this out.
Get it in.
It's the kind of shit that they dealing with, the type of shit that Kevin Samuels is dealing with.
All right.
All right, this is Joy Mack, South Side of Chicago, no kids, a lock stylist, 28 Aries. All right, boo, what kind of man you looking for?
You know what? I don't know. I just this is a little hard. I wasn't ready for that question.
What?
It's the main question. That's the first question.
I ain't gonna lie, this is my first time being on your live, girl.
Your first time ever watching the show, period?
Yes, I just walked in my friend's house and got tuned in.
So you ready for it? Because girl, we get into it on this show.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. What I want? I want in a guy, confident, protective, down to earth.
All right, let me stop right there. All sounds wonderful, right? Like, ordinary shit, like what you would expect, right? Nothing wrong with what she said. Kendra G is, full of smiles.
Why are you laughing, girl? What else? He could have some money for sure, because I ain't broke at all. Feel me? I would like a guy that's doing better than me.
Look at Kendra's face. That's the Kevin Samuels face.
I mean, if you can't be
Real spirit.
What else?
Let's stay right there for 1 second. What's the bare minimum he can make?
Like, what we talking, like a yearly or something?
Let's do yearly.
Girl, 200. I make 150.
So he can't make less than 200,000?
I make 150 doing just locks. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely need somebody that's gonna be doing something,
So you say, okay, so real quick, you're a celebrity stylist. They're asking me in the comments, are you able to give any of your clients' names?
I do polo hair all the time. Majority of the time I do polo. I just did young bands. I worked with Lil Baby before.
Okay.
But like fake city celebrities.
Okay. Now back to your 200 requirement. So you a celebrity stylist, so I'm assuming you're around men that make that amount of money.
Period.
So what's going on with them? The men of your world?
I don't want to deal with any man in my world.
Well, that's the world you live in.
I don't want to live there anymore.
So what? Oh no, let me finish it.
Where do you want to live?
I want to live in fairy tale fucking land.
Bam. So this is the kind of shit that Kevin Samuels was dealing with, like for real, right? I know we find it funny, but Kevin Samuels didn't, right? Kevin Samuels was like, look, man, you on some bullshit right now.
He take that ass, right?
You feel what I'm saying? And that's when he would get on their ass, right? Now I've watched Kendra G stop in. I couldn't find the fucking clip, right? I just seen Kendra G just go so off. She didn't stop, kick the chick off her shit like Kevin Samuels. Like, yeah, get the fuck off my shit, and then go on a rant, about, yeah, you black women, y'all do this, y'all do that, whoop, whoop, and y'all ain't the prize, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, damn, you sound kind of Kevin Samuel-ish.
Can't beat him
around this motherfucker. Like, what's really going on? So I guess my first question for the pod is, how influential, here, let me say it a different way. Do you think that Kevin Samuels' influence has shaped the way people are, starting to kind of confront the inequities in what people say they want in a dating scenario? Or do you think that Kevin Samuels just was the first to kind of address the situation on fucking film? Where we at with it?
Yeah, I definitely feel like he was at the forefront of it. And in full transparency, Con, I want to say this. I ain't down for knocking somebody when they have a party. But in a retrospect to that, because I feel like a lot of part of this show is to hear and to grow. I will say this, in a change of part in how I felt. He was speaking facts. I kind of had a problem with the delivery, but in transparency and retrospect, I could see the light of where he was coming from. Like I said, I just kind of had a problem with the delivery. But in true retrospect, that's just that's that's my insecurities and that's my triggers. I don't like nobody to talk to me harshly like that. I just kind of, it's not what you say, it's how you say it sometimes. But yeah, he definitely was at the forefront of it, and he definitely spearheaded, the phenomenon that's going on now with it. And yes, it has changed the game. Regardless if anybody want to admit it or not, it do it do make you it do make you it does make you. I'm not gonna say right off the bat ask the questions, but in um in the essence of I don't want to waste your time, you don't waste my time. Sometimes some of those things need to be discussed going into something because it makes it a lot easier than 6 months to a year going down the line and you realize we're not on the same page, not on the same level, and and just being realistic in what you're looking for and stuff like that. Congratulations that you're making 150. I think if you're making 150, and yeah, you definitely ain't messing with a 30,000 a year nigga, which ain't nothing
Why
wrong
not?
with that. Hold on, let me just finish what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm saying that if something, I don't know. I think I think if
I
one
know
is
what you're
making
saying though.
150, if one is making 150, well, okay. I'm gonna just be real. If you making 150 and somebody's making substantially less than you, then I would kind of think that you're going to be the money person in this relationship. Is that fair to the person that's making 150? No, but I guess in the same. Hold on, y'all. I got to do better. But in retrospect, I would say this. I'm gonna compare it to me going to a relationship with a guy who doesn't have a car. I've been there before. I had a bad experience with it. So at least I would rather you have your and you ain't even if you don't have your own car, that's fine. But you at least got to have some reliable transportation and not depend on me to take you to everywhere all the time, or be in a position to where you want to use my car when I'm at work. So in retrospect, then yeah, you have to kind of and if you kind of like I said, that's a box for me. I'm not trying to go because I had a bad experience with it. That's something that I really don't want. The money factor, I ain't making a whole bunch of money a year and stuff like that. I'd be willing to, if you held your own and you got your own, however you got your money, you making your money. You could be a 30,000 nigga on paper, but fuck, you may be bringing in 60 or 70, however. But I'm not gonna judge you on that. All I'm saying is that if we're not in a position to where you ask me for money all the time, then that's like people I, people want security sometimes in their relationships. And you kind of want to feel like, well, if I get in the bind, my mate will help me out, and vice versa, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But in retrospect, I think it definitely did put the conversation on the table of what you may be looking for, and it makes you think about what's realistic and what's not realistic. Am I so far warped? Am I thinking that you know that that I need a man that make 150 or 200, and stuff like that? Then what am I in it for? Am I in it for the money? You know, I think that if I don't think it matters how much you make. I think if two people can hold their own and they can build together, then that's what I'm looking for.
yeah. The thing about well, I accept that, right? What struck me while you was talking is that uh, everything that you said is the exact opposite for the guy, right? In the way that we conduct ourselves, as well as the way that society expects us to conduct ourselves, right?
Mhm.
So if I make a buck 50 and a chick is getting up going to work every day making 2,500 a month, I'm not supposed to see nothing wrong with that, and I don't. Right, I'll fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? Put your
Right,
little bit
right.
with my lot of bit, and let's make a whole lot. You know what
That's
I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
That's just the way that niggas think. I fuck with the chick. I'm fucking in the bins and got the fucking Durango and a Cadillac parked in the fucking driveway. I can only drive one of these motherfuckers at a time. She don't got no car. I'm not gonna not date her for fear of thinking that she's gonna need to use my resources, right? That's what the fuck the resources is there for, right?
Right.
But
That's just
I totally understand, a woman's position. However, even though I feel the way that I felt, the way that I feel, right, that I don't have a problem with none of this shit. Let me have a problem with any of that shit and voice it publicly, right? Let me be the nigga that's, I work hard as a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, to make this $1.50 every motherfucking, every year and shit. And here come this bitch with 30,000 and shit. Man, what the fuck I'm gonna do with her, man? She just gonna be all she gonna do is spend up my fucking money and shit, man. I'm gonna end up upside down fucking with her. I can't say no shit like that out loud. I can't say, oh yeah, single mother, you know what I'm saying, with a job and catching the bus to work. She ain't got no car. Life is a struggle. She might need a ride. Fuck that. I ain't fucking with her because I don't want to fucking give her no motherfucking ride. I can't say that shit out loud as a man. You feel what I'm saying? Because I get canceled.
That's the whole
Real
thing. Yeah, and that's the part where I really wasn't big on Cam Cemetery. Like we kind of brought it to attention earlier in our fucking podcast life, right? But to me, he just brought a sense of awareness because knowing now that he was a image consultant, so he actually seen the image of the people going down as far as the women, what they decide. I know the last couple of conversations we had about this in black relationships, or love, was saying that what was it before? 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and something else, right? And he actually turned it upside down and said, "What is this fantasy world that you're living in?" Because in reality, it's only a small percentage of that people that's in that what you're talking about. Majority of the people that you're looking for, just going off of that video, you in that world, but you saying that you want fantasy part, like be spoiled to death. So the thing is, to me, that's saying too that she wants the guy to be subservient, obedient to her wishes. You know what I'm saying? And that part is okay. Hey, I'd like you to make more money than me because I got it on my own. But she never. I'm just assuming that Karen Sane brought it to the part where it's like, with that ends, what do you have that you had this life of luxury? What did you grow into? And that's the part. It's different between building with a relationship and growing with the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And he bring that to from, this is the research that I had. Bring it to awareness. It's like, no, I want to grow with the person because she'll come self-made, built already. It's the growing part over there to fit in statistically. And if far as we going, if we keep on saying that you have to have all these attributes or this line of, know how getting to the money, maintain it, so I could be happy, although I'm happy by myself anyways because I'm doing this and I just want to have fun. But like Max said, we can't even talk like that. So did he bring it and crack the egg on that part right there where he was just telling you statistically the truth about things. Because wouldn't you call it passive aggressive, Mac? Y'all, if we was actually like saying like, okay, well, hey, you're not really not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? You work at Safeway and you know what I'm saying, it's all over here, but I got to hear all the shit when you come home. But on the back of it, you saying, well, you know what? You at 100,000. Well, I need to do it with 300,000 to satisfy my thing. So fuck what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go out and see a dude with a Maybach, but you got a Benz 2022 and all that, but he might got the Maybach. So you'll go say, oh, the grass is green on the other side. He brought all that to the attention from what I could read. And now we got copycats to want to bite into this little part. You know what I'm saying? And carry on the legacy. But like I said, God rest the dead. And he was trying to hip you to this to see, and his statistically, when he see every day in the conversations they hear, to change our perspective on things. So it's like, yeah, that part. But that was hilarious what Homegirl said. She put her head back. She said, "I want to live a fantasy because I do everybody hey name dropping such and such." But yeah, when it ends, so what comes after that, y'all? Like what
What'd you
really
say,
comes
Frank?
after that?
I think the whole phenomenon of judging people based on what they make as opposed to who they are, the way that it blew up is crazy as shit. Although it has been low key going on since the beginning of time. Just the whole outlandishness of it is crazy. But I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, if you can't beat them, join them. It's a lot of money to be made in, reading people and not just by tarot cards. So they making that money. Shit. Get it. Get that shit.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
No, go on, Nick.
I'm saying so. The key points is that who's the new leader of it now? That y'all think? Like, where's it going from here?
Okay, so, what the fuck was I gonna say? I don't think that it's so much copycats to address what you were saying before, as it is simply the culture, because from that perspective, we would be the copycats of Joe Budden. Like, Joe Budden and them opened up the podcast space. Once the space became open, then, it was, we got in there too. You know what I'm saying? And every motherfucking body else. So I think that the space is open because of Kevin Samuels. I don't think that these expectations, unrealistic expectations, or all these various talk points, I don't think that these things came to be as a result of Kevin Samuels. I think that they always were there, and I think that a lot of those things have been contributors to the destruction of Black family and the Black relationship moving forward, because it drives this wedge in between us as partners and our ability to be able to communicate, right? So what we've been living with for the last, I say 50 years, being 57 years old, is, the whole idea of, I say the tall, dark, and handsome, but Nick had a problem with that. So we'll just go with the high value man shit, right? And all the checkpoints that makes him that, right? So that shit has been kind of existing in the minds of sisters and shit since 72. Feel what I'm saying? But, like, I'm a fucking queen. I deserve, the best that life has to offer.
Lola Falana.
The thing about it is that the best that life has to offer usually comes with a lot of hard work, right? You don't get that shit just because you claim it, right? It's like the fucking gold rush. And even the gold rush, staking a claim on some shit, will cost you your motherfucking life, right? Let's not be,
real, right?
Let's not act like, this shit is easy. So I think that nobody else really had, well, not nobody, right? You had a lot of people who in the podcast space that were, number one, you had the quote unquote manosphere, red pill community, whatever the fuck, right? But then adjacent to that, you had the hard on the thought community, right? And that community was a little bit more realistic. It was like, we niggas in this fucking dating field. And what y'all talking about is some bullshit. And young chicks is trying to get the bread. If you a young nigga that's got money, that's what they looking for. And they trying to play you out your fucking grit. So go hard on a thought. Marry a fucking good woman. Go hard on a fucking thought. Period. Right? The DJ academics and, fresh and fit to some extent. And, Star from the Star Report and Abba and Preach, motherfuckers like that were like, we need to be a little bit more realistic, in these expectations, or at the very least, men need to know how to protect themselves from the motherfuckers that's trying to play them, right?
Right.
So you had
AKA gold diggers.
So you had those two schools of thought, right? In terms of in the social media space, in the digital space. But now what we have, or what we never had, the only one we had who was directly confrontational with the specific individual about her particular issues was Kevin Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah,
And
he
he
didn't believe
did it
cancer goes up.
in your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got a screen, I got a screen. I'm gonna talk this shit in live fucking time and click your ass off when I'm done. So now you have, since he's gone, people kind of, I think people see the value in that space. But I don't think that anybody's doing exactly what he's doing. I think that
Okay.
what is happening is that you're having, especially women, you're having black women who are kind of getting into space and being confronted with the same type of issues that Kevin was being confronted with. And your common sense is to tell a motherfucker the truth, right? Here, let me give you another example. Kevin was infamously accused of encouraging black men to not fuck with black women for whatever reason, right? And I always say that he simply, you know, would encourage black men to protect themselves and move on if this chick is on some bullshit. But check out a sister.
I go to her like on
There's a lot.
Saturday. I ain't going.
She can't have access to you anymore. She needs to know what life
Right.
is like because
Yeah,
she gave you an ultimatum.
yeah, yeah.
Live
And she said she
live
was gonna shut
live
down.
it.
The shutdown was what really got me when she was like, I ain't doing this, that, and the third. Because I'm like, all right, I can see us working on it. Her, if she would have came to me and be like,
No.
look, if we look, I can see if she'd have said this. Look, we've been knowing each other, been together for some years. By the end of this year, I want to get married. I'm still gonna do my thing. Like I'm still, this, that, and the other, or whatever. But I want to get married. I would have even maybe
Wait,
went
do
for that.
her thing. Wait, do her thing. What's do her
What I
thing?
mean, what I mean by do her thing, meaning I'm still gonna live here, cook, clean, do my duties
Okay,
or whatever,
okay.
But when she said she was gonna shut down, that's what really got me. Like, okay, you gonna shut down, but you want to be a wife? I mean, come on now. I mean, we
Well,
already
I
had
gotta
problems,
tell you, there's a lot of red flags in this situation. The fact that she was doesn't like Kevin, not even open to it.
right?
He's reached middle age. I
Hmm.
mean, I
You got
the
kids
fact that
already.
you got
Kids
kids,
by Ray Ray. How my man said, Ray Ray.
right? And you got a man who's done for you and is there.
Yeah.
Y'all got back together. I think she's in delusion, if I'm honest with you, and you need to go no contact. She needs to know what life is like without you.
Boom. So, with that clip in mind, my second question to the pond is: are the 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 influx of all of these dating shows hosted by sisters that are being kind of confrontational about some of the behavior that might not be conducive to um, moving forward the black family, are they in violation of the sister code for calling sisters out on some of the bullshit that we've been talking about as men?
No, yeah, she is because
Hey, crowd control's back.
Right.
oh
What?
yeah. So the thing is, this
Uh,
like you had like you brought it to our attention, right? Because I've been in the bubble, you know what I'm saying, for the last umpteen years. You know what I'm saying? What you want to call. And the thing is, it's like it's truth behind the thing. If we want like all together, us four of us came to in a like-minded situation, it has to be said, but who actually is going to follow the rules? And then, just like a couple of episodes ago, it was the pick me. Now this woman that's commenting on this is a pick me
Well,
female.
she's
You would call her,
really been called that.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like all this new
You
language,
had a chick
passive
came on
aggressive,
Kendra G's show and called her a pick me on her show.
and this is all the
It's like,
language.
wow.
And the thing is, right? And you got this whole, you know what I'm saying? And from what I'm seeing, Carrie Sanders brought it to light. It's like, okay, be aware it's people that's being delusional and thinking like this, that they could disband this life, and whoever has the means to sustain this life, I need to be in that network of people. You know what I'm saying? And by being on these little things and calling it out, well, at the end of the day, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna cancel you. You being passive aggressive, Samuel, or this lady being passive aggressive. How you gonna tell her what goes in her house? And it's like the biggest hater shit for this group of like you said, like the culture is moving this way with this whole subset of people that's on the power trip, right? Like these group of like this small percentage of women or this big percentage of women is anti Kevin, anti somebody telling them how they should run their house. So they actually being hated on by these women
Okay,
or
so
these
what
people
I
that's calling the truth.
now maybe I had to listen to the whole clip, but in retrospect to the point that I heard what he said and what he commented on, I I don't think it was right to call her delusional because I'm gonna tell you my points about it, where I am and where the age and where I am. I, maybe it was a situation because it had to been some backstory to that.
The
So
back.
my
Well, I didn't want to run the whole clip because
no,
it's
what
3 hours. But
well I get
it was 42 minutes. But here, let me give you the backstory. So
no. Oh, okay, we'll go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, because it might change your opinion. So he called. It's a dating show. He's calling in, looking for a good woman. Asked him, when's the last time you've been in a relationship? X amount of months ago. Boom, I just broke up. What happened with that? He says everything was going good. And then all of a sudden, she decided that she wanted to get married. And instead of us discussing it, she was just like, fuck it, I'm shutting down on everything
Right.
unless you marry me, right? On some
So
extortion
right.
shit, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then, now mind you, this nigga is paying for everything, fucking treating her like a queen. She lived with him, like, he in a relationship. He think everything is cool.
The
And
only
right. So when it came down to that and she was giving him the ultimatum, he was like, fuck that. And so what Melanie is telling him, right, is throughout all the examples that he gave, it's 42 minutes before that, right? All the examples that he was giving her of what had been going on in the relationship, she had been on some, oh shit, what the fuck? Damn, that's the same shit Kevin be talking about. Woo, woo, this thing. They was
Leave her
having
alone.
that kind of dialogue. So when the part that I played was her just kind of addressing, like, look, this bitch is on some other shit, right? The same shit Kevin would have told him. You need to pack your shit up and get the fuck on, or change the locks on the fucking doors, is what she actually said. You need to
Mm-hmm.
change the locks on the fucking door. Her ass needs to know what it's like not to have you. And that would be the same shit that Kevin would have said. My point in playing that is to show the Kevin Samuels influence
Effect.
on a
Yeah.
black woman in the same position as Kevin Samuels, having to answer the same questions under the same set of circumstances, right? It's kind of hard for her to tell this nigga, yeah, well, you just got to buckle down and happy wife is a happy life. And, you just need to
Oh.
do whatever she says to make her happy. And maybe she can't come at him like that with that bullshit.
Mm-mm.
Not live.
so
Exactly. And I see.
my thing was that again, okay, I'm gonna just be real with it. So like nobody wants a career date. So my thing was like, well, how long had they been in a relationship? And maybe she was at a point to where like, because let's say it had been like 4 years or something like that. I I can tell you now my threshold to breaking down is somewhat about 2.5 in reference to like I want the conversation to at least be on the table. And if you feel like when we sit down and we talk about it, I can tell you what this is what I would like to do, and this is me being real with it. Like, babe, I don't want a career date. At the same time, I don't want to get the best years of somebody that don't have aspirations of marrying me. It might not have been an ultimatum, but it might be like, so if you really truly don't see us at least having this conversation and moving towards it, then yeah, then maybe we need to think about doing something else. I think it's about the delivery. Um, I truth be told, I don't want to be with nobody 5 years, and that not be an option because if we're gonna turn around and then it's gonna not be an option, and here it is, you would think that it would, like, you think that it would happen organically. You would think, I would think that, if you love me, if I'm a good person, and if you want to move forward with me. I don't think it takes 5 years for you to have to discover that about me. And if it isn't, then maybe we on two, we looking like we're going down two different paths,
I think
and
that
stuff like that.
I think that we're getting caught. You and Keena are both arguing a different point, right?
But
And
but
and
but
and
I
and,
but
and
I
I don't
think that
disagree with you. What you
but
are
I think that's kind of
the point that you are the point
yeah,
that you're arguing, right, is whether or not the chick was the chick that we don't see, whether she was justified or not in
in
being dissatisfied with him
yeah,
not marrying her. And I think
right,
that the better question, or the question that's more applicable to what Melanie King is actually answering, is how manipulative is okay to get what you want.
And that's the
Feel
part
what
that
I'm
I
saying?
was getting
How,
to.
how, how okay is it to manipulate a motherfucker to get what you want?
and it's not, and
Like,
that's why I
like,
believe
like,
that
like, like, if
that
this nigga, if
everything is
you
a
want to be married
conversation,
and this nigga
right?
is giving you all the indications that he's not gonna marry you, and then you just done
So,
leave.
and then leave, right?
Don't be playing all these bullshit ass games to manipulate a motherfucker into getting your fucking way. And that
Because that's
is
her
what
safety
Melanie
zone.
King is trying to say to him. Like, if you got this chick that's trying to work you like that, then you need to fucking lock her ass the fuck out. Fuck that. And what
But
I'm saying is she off code? Obviously she is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She
girl
was
code.
Is she
yeah.
off
Yeah,
girl code?
But I
yeah.
mean, I don't
But
think,
look,
I
but
don't believe it's
you
off code in the fact of I believe it's just her position, even in girl code, to display this information, especially the way she see it fit. It's all different aspects, man. Even to the sisterhood, like, y'all got to let that woman speak her speak, man, because she, ain't wrong for it. That's her motherfucking opinion. Um, and probably plenty other people's opinions at that point. Um,
hold on,
but
y'all.
I
Let me
don't think
plug
it's
in.
wrong in the first place, and I don't believe that it should be against girl code. If it is, y'all better leave that woman alone. Let her speak her speak. Man. You know what I'm saying?
but I exactly see right where it keeps going. And thank you for bringing my attention, because it's such an awareness. Because now, from with all this, rest in peace to this man, Kerry Sam, where he said it was a covert, like a underground fucking highlight from what he see in fixing people's lives. He see the abundance of just bad behavior going on with people, and think they need to be accepted because these certain individuals, whether you was a bus driver, a taxi cab driver, uh, hairstylist, nail person, but it's like, hey, where's these guys with the six figures and all that? Because I'm more deserving than anybody else out there for me to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who picks up the reins after that? And like, thank you, Matt, and thank you, Piranha Pine, for bringing that to attention, because rightfully so, who's gonna have the nuts without being afraid to get canceled, men or women? Because now it's like the bad behavior continues because they don't have Kevin on this thing on the week for them to call in, because they actually called into the show. You didn't call them to try to check them, from what I seen. Now who else can they? Because it's brought attention. He made it relevant. No, high profile person. You know what I'm saying? A guy up there. But I remember when he passed away, it was like, who did he die with? Was it a black woman? Was it a white thing? Was he, you know what I'm saying? Liking men, they played the whole thing. Even the celebrities, like, well, that's good because he shouldn't be talking like that. But now he exposed this way of life that people is on, looking for the NBA players in this, and it's like, yeah, who is now is the from the two examples, I could see where it's like, hey, this dude was on calling the culture or society where it is, and we got to let people aware of it before you don't get played. You know what I'm saying? Be aware of it, that wherever it is, it's delusional, fictional. If people continue to go this way, it's destruction of everything. It is. Or am I off from what we're actually building up right here, man.
No, man, because they're trying to create balance, especially with the clip that came out just showed in terms of old girl going in on old girl for being such the asshole she is, trying to provide ultimatums on a whole nother motherfucker life instead of just accepting what it is and moving on. Um, she's creating balance, so that's a good thing. Because again, if she's going against the grain with the sisterhood, she got to be doing something right, right?
Yeah,
So
but
this is
it comes with a
this
whole. Go ahead.
this is a little clip that made me think of that whole shit, right? About violating the sisterhood. This is a clip I couldn't find the straight up Kendra G clip, so I'm gonna give a shout out to Dee Dee, because I'm gonna use her shit where she
DD.
used Kendra G's clip. But this is Kendra G. A chick called in 4 o'clock in the morning to check her about the way that she there was another interview with Kendra G, and she asked the chick, uh the chicks it was the $100,000 shit, $100,000 question, right? And Kendra G said, well, have you been around those kind of guys? She says, yeah. She says, well, why you don't date them? And she says, whatever reason. Kendra G says, well, maybe you should try, you know, dating more in your income range and see how that works or whatever. So old girl called in to check Kendra G
What?
about that. So like I said, shout out to Dee Dee because I couldn't find the
So,
clip.
what was
But
she
check it out.
supposed to say though?
Watch this.
I don't think that she even needs to go into her mind and think, am I able to take a 50K man if he loves me? That's not what she's looking for. That's not what she's looking for. And I don't think that we need to go back into what she's not been able to access to determine whether or not she's deserving of something that she says she wants.
Sounds like
She
a
makes
very intelligent
100K.
sister.
Why
Like
can't
she
she
on
want
top
a
of her
man who
shit.
makes
You would
100K?
think.
She never made it about money.
Trying
You
to
asked
understand
her
what
if
the
she
hell
had a
she's supposed to
preference,
hear.
and she said she had a preference. She didn't say that was all she wanted.
Yeah,
So I just
can
think,
I so
yeah,
I
absolutely.
am I well, of course I can speak. It's my show. I can speak at any
It's
time.
your show.
But I wanted to make sure I gave you the amount of respect to get everything off your chest. When did I say the word deserve?
It's interchangeable.
No, pause. I never said deserve. It's not about what deserve.
It's
Hold
not
on,
about
don't
you
pause,
didn't
pause,
say
pause,
that.
pause.
You
So,
didn't
yeah,
say that. But
so
you
hold on.
can
Hold on,
read
real
the
quick,
comments.
real quick. When you
You
talk,
can
I
read the
listen.
comments.
When you talk, I listen. So I deserve the same respect, right? So let's
Yeah.
get a couple of things clear. I never said the
God.
word. I never said the word deserve. Never said
Sure,
that.
but it was implied.
No, that's not applied. It's not
You can
about.
tell by the comments that
It's
it
not
was
a
implied.
comment, sweetheart.
Comment.
Listen, let's talk facts.
Please
I never.
reflect
Hold
on
on.
the
Hold
comments,
on.
Kendra,
Listen. Let me
because this
speak.
is a repetitive
Pause.
commentary.
This is not repetitive. Listen, when you spoke, I listened. So why can't I get the same respect?
Well, I'm
I
responding.
want to get something clear. I never said the word deserve. So even though you felt that way, that was your feelings. I never said that. It's not about what. It's not. Hold on. You ready to talk? You gotta listen.
Right.
It's not about what you deserve. It's about experience. See, what I was trying to get her to understand because she has experience on this. She told me I didn't say anything about millionaire men. She brought that up. She said I never said have you dated a millionaire man. I would never say that. She gave that. So what I was trying to educate her to understand is okay, you dated millionaire men, you dated men that make that money, but you weren't happy with those men.
Now let me just pause here. And this is what we see this time and time and time
All
again.
right, Dee
We've
Dee.
seen it on Kevin
I
Samuel's
gotta give her.
show and
I
many
gotta
other
give her a
shows. We
commentary. I
see
can't
this
cut her
over
off
and
on her
over
own
and over
shit.
and over. All these women come on wanting something that they realize they didn't qualify for, and then they get mad because somebody tells them. So this is no different. This is the same situation we've been seeing over and over and over. How these women come on the show and they're like, "Oh well, I want a man to make 6 figures, and I want him to make this." The majority of these women do not make 6 figures. And the thing about this is too, if you want a man or you think you should have a man who makes 6 figures because you make 6 figures, that's your choice to want that. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get it though. You understand what I'm saying? You can want what you want, but it doesn't mean that you qualify for it. It doesn't mean that that man wants you. And I think this what a lot of women have to understand. You can have this higher estimation of yourself and what you think you should get and what you think you're entitled to or what you even think you deserve. But it doesn't mean that the man that you want in that category wants you. And I think a lot of women have run into that issue. And you can have all the faith in the world, you can have all the manifestation that you think you.
I can't look at
Look, I
the
went right to the
light
ads and everything.
I like.
Trying to get them back in.
So Matt. So from what I
I
get
want
from
to get
that,
to the. I didn't want to. I was not even tripping off of Dee Dee's commentary. I want to get to the part where old girl called Kendra G a pick me.
okay, yeah, get to that part. Oh, you already stopped it.
I just don't understand what the fuck she expected to hear.
So no, the thing
They
is, right?
decide your range. You know what I'm saying?
So
You decide
so
the outer limits. Your ass back in the
what's
limit.
adding up in my head, and I don't know if I'm delusional, right? That's like, well, Kevin
Yup.
Sandler's not here no more, right?
So if
So
you
it should be
dated
put
those
to
men
rest.
that had
This
the
talk,
money requirement
like
that
he's
you
gone,
say
so
is
he's
important
canceled
to
by
you,
God.
why did you leave
So
those men?
all y'all just forget
But
about
Why
why
these
did you
are you
not
things
just wake it up?
and let us
why
fucking
are
keep
you
on going like we
the
was going,
premise
and
of
we
you
can't
asking
have the
those
power since he's
questions, the
gone,
premise
and
of you
nobody's
asking her
defending
to
the actions
analyze
that
the
we
fact
doing.
that she's dated
Or
men
am I
with
off?
money and
No.
was not satisfied is an inadvertent way of you saying maybe you should not want.
Look, I had to stop right there. Shell, you seen what was happening with Nick right there? That's why I be telling you to wear your headphones. Like this nigga's talking, he had no idea that it was a whole something else going on because he could just hear himself. Yeah, Nick, we didn't hear you, bro. The video had started back up. This nigga takes his earpiece out. Hilarious. All right, back to the
A man
video.
with money so that you can find someone who makes you happy. And I am saying you should not push back on somebody's preference just so they can find happiness. That is a settlement. You should never encourage Black women to settle. The fact that Black
Well,
women
let me just okay.
Please, can I finish my statement? Just
No,
this
you
one
can't. Let me
statement.
no. Now you're gonna listen.
Gotcha.
Now you're gonna
Gotcha.
listen. Now you're gonna listen.
Right.
I listen to
Right.
you, so now you're gonna listen.
Right.
Let me
No,
just ask.
it's giving
No,
pick me. It's
it's
giving
not
pick me. It's giving pick me. And you do this to every Black woman that comes on here
But
and
you
says
watch
she
my
wants to be
show.
honey.
But
It's
you
giving
here
pick
at
me.
4 o'clock in the
I
morning.
love differing opinions.
Right
I
now,
love
watching my
differing
show. So
opinions.
why
But
are
it's
you
giving
here?
pick me,
If you
Kendra.
feel,
Just
if you
because
feel
you don't
that
have
way,
high
why are you
standards for
up with
yourself,
me
Kendra, doesn't
at
mean that
4
Black women
a.m.?
can't have high
If you
standards for
feel that
themselves.
way,
You
why
want to
are you
settle.
up
We
at
don't have
4
to.
o'clock in the
You want
morning
to settle,
on my
Kendra.
show?
We don't have to.
Why are you up?
This is crazy.
All right, so again, back to the whole violating sister code shit. That was you got checked by the sisters violating sister code on the air, Kendra G. Because Lil Mama was not trying to hear none of that shit that you was talking about,
But the
no
comments was
matter
going
how
off
much
on her.
sense it was making.
The comments is going off on her though. Like, girl, what? Hell no. Like, what the fuck are you on? Yeah, the comments was banging on her though. So that was
Yeah,
good.
the comments was Kendra G fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was she was in there getting banged on though.
I'm gonna say the same thing like I briefly said about Kevin Samuels. Um, if you feel like that's something that you don't want to hear, then you have an option of not calling into that show. Because that's how I felt about him. I was like, well, if I know that, if, like I said, it was so much what he said. It was kind of about how the delivery and I talked about it on the show when we talked about it on the show, but it again I wasn't calling into his show because simply because of that.
Would you call it the Kendra G show?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, all that dating shit is crazy.
I really wouldn't and stuff like that. But again, that's me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't look for outside sources like that to tell me how to conduct my relationship or
Right.
because I feel like if you calling into this show, then you calling in for that opinion or you calling in for that advice. Now, consequently, Lil Mama was really calling to check her about it. But again,
She was just up at 3 o'clock in the morning bored as shit.
she pointed out that you calling into my show.
Yeah,
and
she
stuff
was
like
just so
that.
bored.
So again, there's a million different fucking shows. I know people who don't fucking watch Oprah. Okay, fine. You don't watch Oprah. I know I know pretty much from firsthand how men feel about Oprah and Gayle King and stuff like that. So I would feel like if you I'll think from y'all point of view. If you don't want to hear a show about male bashing or about, you know, the demise of the black man, then you might not want to watch that show, and you definitely wouldn't want to call into that show. But again, it seems like she knew enough about the show, which means that you watching the show. If you watching the show, yeah, you can watch the show and you can have an opinion about it, you can get mad about it, but that's a fucking show.
Shout out to Gail King too, right? Because I watched her interview. I watched part of her interview, and I'm just gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, right? I watched part of her interview with Master P, and I was waiting for her because it was about his daughter dying of overdose, and I was waiting for her to hit him with the sins of the father type shit. Yeah, you sold drugs back, whoop whoop, and said that your entire empire is built on drug money. And how do you feel now that it's come back full circle? Some bullshit like that. And she didn't do it. So shout out to Gail King for
Yeah,
not
because
destroying a black man when she
yeah,
had the
Yeah,
opportunity to.
she learned a
I'm
lesson
not
with
even gonna
Kobe.
give her that.
She learned a lesson with Kobe. So
Well, you know what?
I'm not even gonna give her that. We're gonna
But
watch the rest of the interview,
We're gonna watch the rest of it.
and then
and that just kind of goes
even
to
at
show
that
that
fact,
sometimes when you listen hard enough, you can
my
kind of
whole
get
attitude is gonna
kind of
be,
get
you bet
kind of
not, a
get broke,
motherfucker. You know what I'm
and
saying?
stuff like that. So,
That's my whole attitude.
but again, he calls into her show, so it's subjective. You called in her show, you watched it enough to know that the advice that she gave old girl, and sometimes your opinion is just your opinion.
okay, so Matt,
Especially when you're calling into another person's show.
so with this phenomenon that's going on, right? As a collective group of the Piranha Pond, right? Where do we see this part morphing to? Are we going to morph into cancellation, or is it going to be more of the same thing?
This shit is a fad. It's go past like
Oh
all the
no,
rest
we're
of
gonna
the shit.
do a dating show. What the fuck you talking
You know
about?
what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna get in and get that money.
We're gonna get
Hey,
canceled
but
though. Hey, because everything I'm hearing,
We're
everything
this
I'm
is
gonna do
go.
a
hearing, they got
dating show. Me and Shell gonna be giving their
This
ass
is
advice and shit.
this is
Contrary
go,
go.
advice. Shell gonna be
you know what
like,
I'm saying?
girl, go hard. I'm gonna be like, look, nigga, fuck that.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hey.
Because
Yeah.
look, I actually gotta like a lot of times I feel like I gotta hold my tongue because all of that stuff that they be saying, dog, it doesn't compute. And my life is not regular, but it don't compute at all. It's like these things
What you
just
mean?
fantasizing. I'm talking about what these people fantasizing about when they actually get into something to grow with somebody. I mean, to build with somebody, because that's the key word. I'm looking for a man to build with to get to this point, right? It's absolute delusional because you didn't even weigh in all the other stuff at a person that's 30 years old or whatever, or because they're not getting their money in their 20s unless they just came up with a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Some phenomenal ass shit to make six figures off the bat, not out of, you know what I'm saying, or a career or going to school or whatever, right? So now you're talking about into the upper echelon. If you're not a rapper or a ball player and you signed a contract with a what you call that, Matt? When they first a signing bonus of $20 million, and you got this woman over here that said, "Well, I've been working so hard and looking for a person like this, so I deserve it." You know, the regular Joe that got a nail salon or whatever, or in the rap videos. Now, this phenomenon that Kevin brought to life, now he's not here no more. So that how he influenced on having an ear for it, be aware of these things. What you think the next step is going to morph into? Because this lady just got dragged by this lady at 4 o'clock in the morning, and like you should be commenting on nobody's life, but what is your life?
I
You
don't
know what
think
I'm saying?
I don't think that it's gonna have no effect on the growth of the space. I think that more people is just gonna start doing dating shows and having their opinion, being willing to put their opinion on camera about
Okay,
somebody else's shit.
okay,
I don't find that to be nothing wrong with that. I mean,
I don't know.
the culture does what the culture does, right?
yeah,
Like I said,
Right.
nigga, we need to probably jump on top of that shit.
Right now.
But I think that from I think I understand what you really asking, which is if people are going to actually be able to be blunt about, you know, what they think other people should do in their particular lives, what they think will work, like Kevin Samuels was. And my response to that is that I don't think Kevin Samuels set out to be that.
Right.
Right.
You
I
just
think
morphed into
Kevin.
it, right?
No, I think. Well, yeah, but I think Kevin Samuels. He just happened to be the first motherfucker to go through with these black women and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers that are going through these dating shows and doing these interactive fucking live streams with other people talking about relationship issues are going through, right? Which is confronting the confronting the unrealistic expectations that people generally live with for the next
Mm-hmm.
person, right? And how off-putting that could be, right? Because there's really no nice way to say that you are out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like how do you say
that's
that?
what I'm. That's what I'm
How
getting
do
to
you say
because
that nicely, right? Like no
yeah.
matter what the fuck, I think that was what was Kevin's problem at first, is that he was trying to be nice. He was trying to find 13 different ways to tell, this fucking chick that don't got fuck going for herself that look, your expectations is kind of unrealistic, ma. The niggas you looking for ain't looking for you, right? And after not being able, really, I don't know if it was before the average at best chick or not, right? But I know the average at best chick. I watched that whole video 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
She got what she had coming.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
definitely got what she had coming, right? Because he tried so many different ways. He tried to not even have the podcast with her, right? He
Mm.
was trying not to do the live with her. He started off telling her, baby, you're on the wrong show. Like this
Yeah.
show is about this. You asked me about that. If you want to know about that, call and book a session.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, no, no, no. I know it is, but
Right.
and then just went on and more disrespect and more flippant ass fucking remarks and not trying to hear what he was trying to say and finally that nigga got fed up and was like, you know what?
Yeah. Let me run. Hey, but because
Take a
you
dose
know
of
what I'm
this
saying.
shit.
The
No, but
truth is,
correct me if I'm wrong though. Wasn't that the most people that called into his show? Like they called into his show fucking with him. He was doing what he do.
That nigga went on live every night for 3 hours. That nigga had 6, 7 fucking chicks a night call in after the controversy, nigga.
Right.
so
Right.
look, so my
Right.
point being, Matt,
Yeah,
right?
that shit just
Is
got hotter.
Yeah.
so the bottom line is in real life, nigga, a hustling ass nigga that's getting that money is never gonna be at home. If you got a chick over there that's spending up all your money, I'm talking about if he's just setting getting these $1 million motherfucker or a 6-figure dude, he's not just working from the dungeon in his house and all the money going upstairs. So I'm saying that's the first thing, in the conversation. And the second thing is, I think you brought it to my attention that Kevin checked the dudes the same way he checked the women, right?
Started
Well,
off
yeah.
with checking niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that is the part because, on the same right,
But don't
right?
nobody
If
care
a
about
nigga
that
was
though.
out here,
I think we're paying too much attention
Yeah,
to
but don't
Kevin
nobody care about
Samuels.
that though.
That's
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
what the conversation about. The
no,
conversation is
I'm talking
more.
about, are these people after him, the influence that he had, are they doing the same, like I'm saying the similar thing? Like this
What I
online thing.
and what I was saying to you, right, to answer your question is, I don't think that this is a purposeful thing. I don't think Kevin was trying to be Kevin on
Okay.
purpose. I think that you get you. I'm having a conversation with a motherfucker. They asked me a question. What color is the sky? Blue. What color is the sky in the morning? Sky blue. What color is the sky at night? Midnight blue. It's all fucking blue. And this motherfucker keep trying to fucking get me to say something different, right? At some
Yeah.
point, I'm gonna say, look, motherfucker, the sky is blue. What kind of crazy motherfucker is you? At some point, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is these chicks who probably have very, very good intentions, especially Kendra G, because Kendra G did a whole live stream with Kevin Samuels. right? Like
Oh,
before he
okay.
died, they did an hour and a half, and he was on her head, but she was getting back at him and shit, right? She was holding her own and shit, right? They didn't see really eye to eye, so she's not trying to be in the Kevin Samuels mold. She's just trying
Mhm.
to do a dating show.
So the
You know what I'm
influence
saying?
goes
Her
way
shit
than
is singles on Instagram or singles on YouTube or singles on Facebook, whatever platform she's on that night. You call in, she asks you the same questions, right? How old are you? How long has it been since you've been in a relationship? Do you got any kids? What do you do for a living? What are you looking for in a mate? Same questions. And then the shit just go from there. And it usually is that last questions, what are you looking for, that has her interacting with a motherfucker. But generally, her show is about the people watching her show um, linking up with the people that's on her show.
oh,
It's
okay.
not a
So it's a
relationship advice show, right?
it's a hook.
But she just keeps getting confronted with that same shit that Kevin was getting confronted with, right?
Mm.
Where she's like, "What the fuck are you? That don't come
I need to
on,
do
little
more
mama."
research.
You know what I'm
I need to do
saying?
more
And
research on
so I
online
think,
dating
I think
because
that,
it's
I think
hilarious
that,
right now.
I think that to answer your question, I think that where the space is going to go is anybody that's in that space to try to do a show where you are face to face talking to people about what they want in a relationship. You're going to be fake. If you have any kind of common sense, it could be Shell. Shell can be the most liberal sister in the world about what a woman could want, not want. But at some point, Shell is talking to women every day. If Shell is talking to men every day and men keep saying the same shit over and over again that women are never going to be able to give them, right? If all of us just come here, I want a woman that could fucking run a 440, nigga. What the fuck?
Yeah.
If she can't run a 440, what the fuck she around me for? Some whatever, fuck, right? And Shell is like, women are
Delusional.
never gonna run that fast. Shakari Richardson runs a 5'2", right? Or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, right?
That's
It's
hilarious.
not gonna happen. At some point, she's gonna get to the
Flash.
stop trying to explain in common sense. Well, look, women don't really run that fast. I know that men do. There's a biological difference in muscle tone and velocity, and she gonna get tired of explaining that shit over and over and fucking over again. She gonna be like, "Do you motherfuckers even watch the show?" And it's not that niggas don't watch the show. It's that all niggas want the same unreasonable ass shit. This fast ass bitch that just never is gonna exist except one out of a million.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm fascinated by
And
this
even then,
people's
you have to
insight
get her
on this
tested.
online dating shit, nigga. Like this shit is like I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna go look it up and do some research and call y'all at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, look what I see. Yeah, you already late, Nikki. You know what I'm saying? Nick Nash. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like it's hilarious. Like
Oh man,
it is purely
well,
hilarious.
Kendra G come on every night.
Wow.
She put a
I'm
video
gonna need
out
some
every
rehab
night.
after this, y'all.
Melanie
Shell,
King
lift me
do a
up.
show. The lead attorney does a show.
Yeah, you put. I've been looking at him. I've
Somebody
been up
else do
on
a
him.
show.
He's cold, man. That lead attorney guy,
That nigga's hilarious.
he is cold. I've been up on that. You know what I'm saying?
He
So
getting his
yeah,
bread though. I ain't mad at him.
man.
That
I
nigga
think
You know what I'm
posted
saying?
when
so.
that nigga
I,
posted when he was making
But I
50,000
think
a
that
month.
at the same time, though, even with kind of what we've watched and stuff like that, um, I think that at the end of the day, is like sometimes what's realistic to me might not be realistic to the next person. It doesn't say that. It doesn't mean that they're wrong in what they want. We just want different things. And um, and if you honestly know that you then set against that what that person that's hosting that show is saying, then why fucking bother? You know going into it, y'all got two separate opinions. You already know. So why subject yourself to that just to get you mad, just to get you upset to get heard? Okay, so you heard.
I'm going up for
that's it.
online dating tonight.
So you heard now. So and then what after that? You know. So again, like because I'm not here to tell you what you're looking for is wrong. I don't expect you to tell me, well, Cause there's a flip side of that too. You know, you could be like, well, your height ain't high enough. I've been told that by men and women at times for different parts of my life, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so again, I think, you know, sometimes it is subjective, but again, you know, if if you don't have thick skin, then stay away from shows like that because they deal with a array of opinions. And if you know that your only opinion is church girl, and all you know is church girl, and you know, and
What
basically
is
you
that?
looking for a church man. I'm just saying that
Oh,
if your life revolved around you being in church every day of the week and all day on Sundays, you know your 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 expectations of a man may be different than the next chick, and stuff like that. So again, but if you're dealing with a show that ain't dealing with church, it may not be your show. Like because you automatically gonna be the oddball out. Pete, this was my question to you. When you said it was a dating show, like they didn't even get past that point. But were they, when you say dating show, like was she supposed to be putting out there what she wanted, and then there's men in the fold?
Yeah, it's men watching. You tell a motherfucker
But
what you want. You had a little
right,
conversation with Kendra, and then she put your
they didn't even
Instagram
get a
or your
chance for the
Facebook or huh?
I said, but what we watching like with these chicks, they didn't even get a chance to get to the matchup because they were so
No.
hell bent on their opinion. That's why I say I
Yeah, because
never was
she wasn't there for that. She actually
yeah,
said that.
like was
Like
there made in the hole? Like, well, baby girl, I'm asking you because like when you said dating show, I just figured that there would be men in the hole, or men with some opinions, or when you say
men
dating show, I'm thinking
men
that
come on the show too.
right. So when
okay.
you
Looking for a
yeah,
woman.
they never even got
Yeah.
it. They didn't even get a chance.
They've had gay men on the show looking for another man.
Right,
They've had a chick who was a poly on there looking for another
right.
a sister wife.
But see,
Like
what
it's
we
a
heard
dating
that
show. It's a
they didn't even get a chance to the dating part. They were so
because
hell bent on
she
Yeah,
wasn't there. Is what I was
that
trying to
wasn't
say.
her
She
fault for
came
calling.
there
That wasn't her point.
specifically
came there
to
specific to
to
Yeah.
that.
beef
Right,
with. She came there to represent,
right,
and I may be wrong, but I just represent it like this. She came to represent the sisterhood. She came to check Kendra G on on the same thing that you saying, right? Like her position was let a bitch dream. Why a bitch can't dream? That wasn't what Kendra G was saying, and this was going to be my point before you asked me the question, right? Um, I understand what you mean about a person wanting what they want, right? There's nothing wrong with having desires for a particular thing or a particular person, type of person, or whatever, and shit, right? It's a whole nother thing when you do that to the exclusion of any and everything else and shit,
right,
right? And that's
right,
kind of what, and so what I believe is been happening is that there is a bar that's being set, right, by these
Oh, okay.
kinds
I
of
got you.
conversations, right?
I got you.
That 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 defines a good man as a particular thing, right? We're just gonna use high value man and good man as
Oh my goodness.
interchangeable, right? So if it becomes the norm that all women, all sisters, no matter what the fuck you doing in life, no matter your mentality or nothing, as long as you believe that you deserve a good man, then that's the only thing that you willing to settle for. And it doesn't matter who you are because we've already got factored into this shit. Accept me as I am. No man should be trying to change me. All those different kinds of fucking dog whistle code words and shit, right?
right,
So it's already built into the system that there is, that just being you is should be enough, right?
right.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I like fucking Rolls Royces. I want a Rolls Royce, and I'm a Rolls Royce kind of nigga, right? I hustle like a motherfucker. I sleep 2 hours a fucking day. And I'm always in my life trying to fucking unfold some shit. If anybody deserves a fucking Rolls Royce, it's me, right? I really believe that, right? However, there takes a lot of different shit that I gotta do in order to be Rolls Royce qualified, right? The first part is get the bread, right? Second, I gotta get on the list. You know what I'm saying? I gotta fucking explain shit to the IRS. It's some shit that I actually have to do, right? I just can't wake up in the morning and nigga, I deserve a fucking Rolls Royce, and therefore I'm not gonna drive my Hyundai. Now the Hyundai gets me every motherfucking where that I need to go, right? The Hyundai don't do no complaining. That motherfucker starts every time I get in the bitch. When something is wrong with it, guess what? Me and Frank, we pop the hood on that bitch and fix it.
Period.
You feel what I'm saying? The Hyundai is a reliable motherfucker. I'm not going to drive my Hyundai because I think I deserve a Rolls Royce, and I don't do a motherfucking thing to deserve the Rolls Royce, but just think that. Okay, let me put it a different way. Let's say you, as a black woman, you want and deserve a McDonald's franchise in your neighborhood. We're just going to say in greater New Orleans, right? I'm a motherfucking queen. Shit, and I've been eating McDonald's since I was a kid. I deserve a fucking McDonald's, right? Now, here's the thing. McDonald's, the actual motherfuckers that make McDonald's, has said, well, we only going to have 22 McDonald's in the whole fucking New Orleans metro district, right? In order to get one, you got to have $375,000. You got to take this motherfucking course. You got to read 1,800 pages of the fucking manual. You got to have more backing behind you, in terms of fucking bond, this, that, and the third. And you go to work every motherfucking day at Marriott for $20 an hour. You don't have none of that, right? Mind you, it's only 22 of these motherfuckers.
Allow it.
You only got a minute to get your shit together. You don't. And then you sitting at the 22 McDonald's saying, damn, it's fucked up that I didn't get one of y'all, but also the 178 Burger Kings that'll let your ass own one. You like, fuck that. I don't want no fucking Burger King. I want a motherfucking McDonald's because I deserve a McDonald's.
Right.
That shit is just fucked up. It's just
unrealistic, right?
You feel what I'm saying? It's unrealistic. Right. And I think that that's what's happening now. I think that we are setting a particular bar, a standard for what is a good man, and it doesn't include me, Nick, and fucking Frank. It only includes them niggas that you put up on that pedestal, and there's only a certain amount of them. It's a way little bit of them motherfuckers. So you're gonna consistently be saying, the men don't fuck with black women. Niggas don't even fuck with black women. They don't represent us. They always running off the white women. We the most underrepresented, the most disrespected class of fucking people on the American soil. Whoop whoop. And niggas that fuck with y'all is like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
But and then I got one thing. So, do these particular dating sites promote the introduction to high value men and high value women, whatever that's?
No, as a matter of fact, there really hasn't been no real pushback like that, right? Like I said, Kendra G is not no Kevin Samuels fan. Kendra G simply was talking to a chick and said, okay, well, maybe the shit that you've been doing ain't been working. Try something different.
Right.
Yeah.
You shooting for these type of men. You getting these type of men. You not being able to keep them. What the fuck is going? No, not her. Not the one that called and cussed her out. The one who called, who the girl was cussing her out about.
The first one.
Right. So
Kendra,
Kendra G was like, you finding these high value motherfuckers, these niggas with all this money, and you ain't keeping them.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Maybe you ought to, try fuck with some niggas that ain't in that. Try fucking with the $50,000 nigga. Maybe that shit might work out a little better for you. And old girl was like, how dare you tell a sister that she can't dream?
See,
to the extent that she called in her show and called her a pick-me. as though
But
she's
she
trying to fucking
wasn't
put
telling it's
herself
a
in it.
dream. She was just saying that be realistic in your dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll
Exactly.
try some different
And that's
shit
a
just
hard
in
Try
pill
some
to
general.
different
swallow.
shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
My question to kind of close out the topic is what is allowable to say in terms of Shell, you're my cousin and I love you to death, right? And you single and you say, damn, Keith, what the fuck I've been doing? Shit, this shit ain't I still don't have a husband. I want to be married, but the shit ain't been working out. What am I doing wrong? How far do you go in telling a person, and how much do you expect them to take your advice when you're talking to them about their shit?
I mean, as far as you need to.
Oh my.
As far as you need to get the point across. Now, how they take it is something altogether different. But you go wherever you need to go to make sure that they understand.
Hard to paint.
Right. If you need to. Some people you don't need to go that hard on, but you got to give them what they're asking for, and that's for sure. If they're asking, you're asking for a reason.
And then you got to count that the people that ask you for your opinion and then get mad when you give them your opinion.
And always remember respect.
Well, shit, that's kind of what the phenomenon has been, right? That's the whole Kevin Samuels phenomenon. You asked for this nigga's opinion and got mad. The whole world got mad, or half the world got mad at this nigga's opinion.
Like I always come back and say that again. You called in to his show for his opinion.
It's facts behind it,
and he gave it to you, and now you offended. Again, like I said, if it kind of was like, well, why? And stuff like that. Like if I mean, the contents of the show. You watched a couple of episodes before you called in. You knew what his response was going to be already. Just like a good friend who gonna come to me with some shit, and I'm gonna be like, well, you know me, and you know how I rock, you know how my values are. You my best friend. I'm not gonna tell you no different than I would tell myself. I don't voice my opinion on everybody, but you my sister, and you sitting on my couch and you asking me. So I'm saying, well, maybe that, like you said, maybe rock, that I know personally a lot of, I'm gonna say average for lack of a better phrase. I know a lot of people who want to fuck with you, but you ain't checking for them at all. And the people that you do want, which we know those people too, then they ain't hollering. So, are you just gonna be single all your life, or you gonna I ain't gonna say break down your standards, but maybe just reevaluate what's working and what's not working for you.
So my thing is, so my thing is, right, in this whole phenomenon with these ladies that because Kevin ain't here no more, right? Do they come with, to validate their answer, do they come with facts and statistics on these answers that they're giving these people, like good advice to move in a different direction?
No, because I don't think that is their purpose again, right?
Okay.
Again, I don't think that they're trying to be Kevin Samuels. I don't even think Kevin Samuels was trying to be Kevin Samuels.
And
I think it just ended up that way. I think that what these ladies are doing is speaking from a common sense perspective on maybe a particular thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And that particular thing might kind of echo some shit that a man would say, right? It's kind of like these women being confronted with the same shit that a man would be confronted with in the same scenario.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then, so how do you respond to that? Do you, just like I was saying about the fucking sky is blue shit, right? Do I respond with the, shit, I ain't gonna embarrass you because you a sister shit? You know what I'm saying? Or do I tell your ass the fucking truth to what you asking? You feel what I'm saying? And the minute that you speak the truth, but then the backlash is you ain't on code.
Picking on me. Yeah,
no, not you picking on me. Not you picking on me, that you are a pick me.
Not what I want to think.
Oh, and I'm still trying to get over. You messed me up with that whole scenario right there. I still been trying to unpack that. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole freaking thing. It's like I'm just trying to do the right thing. That was from beginning of time, whatever, what the universe
So
designed me to do.
so
Yeah.
so
Oh my God.
so back
So
to
you really can't tell
the
nobody the truth no more.
so back to
Period.
yeah. So
Answer.
back to the last question. Um, you know, how much here, let me put it a different way.
How petty
Because
you have to get, Matt.
no, because it's different for a guy, right? It's different for a guy in the same scenario with the same response. So for a black woman, is staying on code more important than giving actual good advice? If that good advice
Hell no.
appears to be off code.
Hell
Well,
no.
there ain't no code no more because everybody's simp ass people. It's the
It's
rise of
always
the
the
simp on the
code.
No,
dude
Nick, you're
side.
not listening, bro.
No,
When I
no,
say code, I'm talking about sister code, bro.
nah, in reference to
Well, I don't
that,
know
no,
nothing about it because I ain't no
no,
Well,
sister.
because
okay,
why?
then let her answer.
Nah, because I say no because what I at the end of the day, I don't want nobody to blow smoke up my ass and make me feel like I'm right. And clearly, I may be delusional in some things I'm thinking. I want you to speak to me in a manner that, and I ain't speak to you in a manner, but I want I want if I'm looking for honest, down to earth advice, then I can't be mad when you give me that advice.
Mm, yeah.
So no, I don't think it's going out cold if you giving the advice, and like again, like that, if we're gonna bring it back to that example, I'm not in good faith gonna tell you, yeah, girl, stick to your dream, you know, stick to your dream. You may die waiting for that hundred and
Right.
fifty,
Especially
waiting
But
for
I'm
that
saying
hundred and
that's
fifty
fantasy
to
shit.
the nigga, and stuff like that. Somebody that's making 250 to 300,000, you might miss your happiness mark if that's all you're looking for. You're not looking to settle for, you know, average person may be making somewhere between maybe 60, 75, maybe 100. Like, sometimes, I mean, you never want to tell somebody that you're dreaming too big, but again, you need to be able to tell somebody, I just need you to be more realistic. Because, like you said, it ain't really too many of those. And again, and if you and but if that's the circle you run with, and they ain't date you or introducing you to a man that would date you, then it's probably not gonna happen for you like that. Because most times, because you have to admit, most times people, hook up with people that they met through somebody else. Say all your friends are men, and that's their circle of friends they hanging with, and in most times it don't take much for somebody to holler at a woman, like talk about. So if you ain't already attracting that, then I'm not saying that you won't, but maybe it's something that, like, if your guy best friend making 200 and everybody else he messing with make 300, and he's introduced you to at least fucking 15, and ain't one of them try to holler at you, then
It's a problem.
I'm just saying that, and it could just be those 15 men, but it just, like sometimes, you gotta go back to the drawing board, reevaluate, and see, okay, well, you know what,
That's a
I've
Pandora's
been in,
What?
box.
I've been in that realm, and it ain't happening for me. So, again, I'm not gonna die waiting for a dude in that category to pick me. If
What if you
you
w-
know,
what if you went in, what if you went on, what if you got introduced to 15 of them dudes and you went out on 20 dates and nothing didn't happen with none of them?
right, right.
I'm asking,
Oh, then I would,
what would be the next move?
I would, I don't look at stuff in realms of money, but I'll be like, if it ain't popping, then let me move. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe, I'm never gonna say I'm aiming too high, but what I'm saying is that maybe, I have to look at, myself and them. I'm not gonna say I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say that, maybe, you know I don't know. Maybe I would,
You taking
maybe
accountability
our minds,
for your action.
maybe our minds ain't the same level. Maybe I'm, maybe they too far in the air, or maybe I'm not that leveled up. But at some point, something gotta give, because I'm not gonna just be miserable all my fucking life just because. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say that that's my bar. That's my bar, and that's what I'm aiming at, and I'm not gonna accept anything less. Again, you know, I I I move around and do something different. I'm not gonna be miserable when they have 8 niggas that's making 75 trying to holler at me, but I want the 300,000 nigga that's not even looking at me.
We just need a nigga to
I,
be there. That's what
I
you're
know
saying. I
one
like.
thing. I know one thing. If I date 8 stripper chicks and 8 times in a row, not only does the relationship, quote unquote, not work out, but I'm left with a depletion of some kind or another, either my heart or my fucking bank account. 8 times in a row, all stripper chicks, I'm probably gonna recognize that either I don't really like stripper chicks like I think I do, or that
Right.
stripper chicks just ain't good for me.
To me.
So I'm
Right,
gonna go
right.
to a different kind of chick. What I'm
That's why I
not
said I'm gonna
gonna
move
do,
around and do something different. Yeah.
I ain't gonna keep on beating
Beat the
every
dead horse.
motherfucking postal worker over the head with I don't fuck with government employees. I only fuck with stripper chicks.
Right.
That's
You
not
haven't,
what I'm gonna be.
but you haven't made it successfully work with one fucking stripper
Not
chick.
one
And like you
motherfucking
said,
stripper chick.
but like you said, you've dated at some point 8 to 12 of them. Like you said, maybe I don't. Like you said, maybe I don't like them like I thought I did. Because again, it ain't all important that them not liking you. Maybe
Right,
it's something
right.
with you that you be like,
Sometimes I might have
you
just shook, exactly.
right. Like I said, maybe they too high, or maybe I'm not leveled up enough, but I'ma recognize that something ain't right with that. I'ma say, you know what, I guess I like strip clubs. And I guess I like looking at naked women, but maybe
and conversating.
I'm just gonna date like
maybe I'm looking for something more than that.
I'm gonna just date go-go dancers. They don't take all their clothes off. They just stand in the cage and dance. Maybe we'll get a better rapport after that.
Watch out, world. I'm getting on the
If
dating
the
site
only
tonight.
thing I like about you
Or
in
go kick
dating
your ass.
the only good times we having is when you go to work. At home it ain't working, dates ain't working. And the only good time that we can actually have, only good memories we have is at the club. Then, like you said, maybe I just like to watch the club. Maybe for
Grey Goose,
ordinary
not
life,
promoting.
we ain't on the same level in ordinary life.
And I think that's what Kendra was saying to the chick that caused the argument with the other chick, right? Is, the chick was saying she had dated millionaires and whatever the fuck, however many different kinds of big bank Hank ass motherfuckers, and you wasn't with none of them. So Kendra was like, maybe you ought to try something different, Mom.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe she wasn't
Because you
financially
still
literate.
talking about that same
I
shit.
was told
You on the show still
to tell
talking
her,
about that same shit. You
don't
still
tell her
talking
to
about
think
marrying a
big. No,
stripper?
I'm telling
Ready
her
for
to be
punishment.
realistic. I'm
Ready
not
for
telling her not
punishment.
to think big. I'm telling her to be more realistic. Bitch, you tried it. It ain't working for you. Do something different.
Pivot. See how that works. And if it don't work out,
Pivot.
you can always go back. You can always go back
if
on the hunt.
if is what you're looking for, if commitment is what you're looking for, if those are things that you want that you're not getting out those men, then do something different.
Well, and that's the thing I said, because today and tomorrow, I could be working in the stock market. When you met me 2 days ago, I was that person. Now today, everything took a crash. I'm not that dude. So did you fall in love with the
And then
money, or did you fall in love with me?
that's the next realization. Or are you trying to get with them just because of the money, or do you really like them
Yeah.
enough to think? And like you said, I work on Wall Street, and today we good. Tomorrow we hit rock bottom, and it took everything. All my investments are done. So now I
Yeah.
don't even have that money that I came in with it. But I love you. So what we doing? So
Exactly.
so what you gonna do? You gonna build with this nigga, let him start from the ground up again? You in it already with him. What you gonna do? Or are you gonna walk? If you walk, then that's a clear indication that you was only in it for the money.
Because I deserved the other dude and he looked better anyways, right? That's what I heard from the other video. You know what I'm
I,
saying? He
I,
wasn't doing the job.
I would
I'm going on
assume
there.
that.
I'm doing experiment.
I'm
Piranha
sorry.
experiment.
I would assume that you know, that when you put that as one of the things on the checkoff, um, it's not so much the money itself. Like I say, you know, you're not looking for, you know, stack of hundreds sitting on the table or something and be able to say he got it. You're looking for what the money does. You're looking for the trips. You're looking for the Birkin bag.
Oh my God.
You're looking for your rent paid, you know, fucking shopping money, whatever the fuck, right? Like I'm just saying, like chicks that are, or let's flip it. Let's take it to a chick that's looking to settle down. You're looking for a motherfucker to provide security, a home, you know what I'm saying, proper transportation, you know, fucking status in the fucking neighborhood and the community or whatever and shit, right? All of these things kind of come with um, the guy that's making that kind of money and shit, right? And when he don't make that kind of money no more, if you take that away, then you take away those creature comforts and some of those things, right? So yeah, Nick, it'll always be you're attracted to the chick because you was doing well and now you're doing bad, and she'll stay with you because she knows, you know, this might just be part of the roller coaster or whatever and shit, right? But try being um, a nigga that's about his bread and then go down to nothing and attract the chick while you have nothing. Simply relying on the inner knowledge that tomorrow you might be back having 100,000 again.
Mm-hmm.
That shit don't work out.
I know. That's the whole thing.
So to say, you know, to say that, you know, a chick wouldn't get with you, well, because you don't have what's on her checklist. I don't think so much that it's about, you know, gold digging or the money is the only thing. It's just one of the things. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at, okay, here, let's just say this. I'm a fucking I'm a 5'9" point guard who could jump out the gym in the NBA, right? It's part of my shit, right? I'm quick on my feet, whoop, strong as a motherfucker, can lift shit with my back and all that. Part of my allure to the woman that I marry, you know, before we get married, is that, you know, this nigga is active as a motherfucker, move around, whoop. She marries me, we're doing good as a motherfucker, you know, breaded up in the NBA, get hit by a car, no more legs, right? Now, I no longer have that ability, right? That fucking one of the things that attracted her to me. Had I been the nigga just laying in the bed quadriplegic when she met me, I'm quite sure that she wouldn't have been thinking about marrying me. But now that she's married to me and this has happened to me, it's all the other things that I am that is going to keep her around, right? Not just my legs.
Right.
Like she might have to wipe my ass or some more shit. Another burden on her. She may hate it, right? She may secretly wish that this part of it was over with, right? But the good wife is going to stick around because it's for richer or poor. Same way with your fucking money, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You big balling or whatever and shit, and that's part of the attraction. She feels that safety and security that you know, you move in numbers enough to be able to take care of her and these kids that you about to make, you know what I'm saying, comfortably. And then you lose that, you know, motherfucking stock market crash or whatever and shit, Black Thursday, whatever the fuck.
She's
You know what
gone.
I'm saying? No, she shouldn't be.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's not what it sounds like to me.
No, but I'm just saying on the
you know,
point.
that shit does put strains on relationships. That's for
It
sure.
yeah, I'm saying it will put a strain on the relationship again. It'll be one of them things that, you know, she'll hate. Changing lifestyle. She got to go fucking get a second job. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a job because your ass is 44 or 48 or whatever the fuck you is, nigga. And no college degree and no real skills other than being an entrepreneur.
So
she got to carry the family now and some more shit. No, she ain't gonna like it. It's a big fucking change in her lifestyle, but she in it with you. You know what I'm saying? For
So
the
so my thing is,
richer
so
or
so so
poor, right?
so
I
I
mean,
think.
that's how it's supposed to be, but that ain't how that go.
but this is what I'm saying. This my reality is, right? If a woman over 35 going into her 40s and whatever it was, she was messing with a high value man or she was in that circle. If she wasn't able to accomplish, did she get a whole house in her name? Did she get property in her name? You know what I'm saying? All these things where you be invested in what high value people doing. You coming to meet me on the second go around and you don't have none of those things. You can't even talk about if whatever that fake high value man or high value woman shit is in the play because I feel like you wasted your whole time want to be in a circle if you was with somebody before, whether you had a kid, so forth and so on. If you was occupying that space, you still didn't create an investment when you had the opportunity to be with this six-figure dude. Like, where's your game at?
I don't understand what you mean.
No, I'm talking about like these women now, like you said, when they call into these shows and they said, well, I've been waiting on a high value man. But they said, well, I've been in the realm of kicking it with high value dudes. And they simply ask, maybe you need to switch it up. But if you go and check the boxes, did you acquire any property? Or you just was getting allowance to do your nails? You was driving his fancy car and all that. Did you get something of ownership of yourself? Land, a deed to a house, or whatever? Because if you came to me, and like Shell said this a couple of weeks ago, you need somebody that's at either at your level or above your level. If your level right now, Shell, is making 75,000, you know what I'm saying, and you just round the corner, one paper away to make 150, that dude should replicate the thing. Just like Frank said, if she got potential about moving somewhere else
So
with
you
that,
saying
but if
you saying Nick that only people that make a certain amount of money should fuck with people that make that amount of money, and everybody else is just fuck.
no, no, I'm
How does that
saying
work?
well, no, I'm saying like how it's being explained and what these people are going to with these, like the lady said, a delusional aspect of this dude said that from the guy said, I did all this in the play. Now she's like, well, if you don't put a ring on it and sign whatever without a prenup or whatever, I'm just gonna stop production on everything till I get what I want. But with its investment in her, and this is what I'm saying, this whole dating game just blows my fucking mind in these shows. And I'm inquisitive and I want to go more into it.
I
So
thought you
if
was
it,
talking about your wife leaving you if you go broke. Is what I
no,
thought
and
you
the
was
thing is, right? But
I
it
didn't know what
sounds
he
like
was talking about.
no, it's that's what I'm saying. I need to
Trying
give
to
him my
follow.
thing. But the thing is, it's like these, like you said, how far would you go to tell the truth of these people? You know what I'm saying? If something happened to them, that they are no longer making it. So was it about who lifestyle you was trying to mimic, or you deserve this lifestyle, and everybody should be proud of because you one of the women that made it, or one of the dudes that made it?
so
That's
Shell
what I'm
said.
actually saying.
So Shell said that um, if you ain't trying to fuck with a nigga that don't make a particular amount of money and shit, if you ain't looking for the good in somebody, then you only in it for the money. And I said that I don't think that's true. I think that what it is that it's just one of the things that's on the checklist.
Mm.
And when you find somebody that has those things that's on your checklist and you build a relationship with them, if they lose that one of those things that's on the checklist and shit, right? Generally, she's not gonna go nowhere, right? And then you said, shit, that ain't my understanding. You said like, nigga, you lose the money, her ass is out of there. And I'm saying I don't think that's true. I think that your wife is gonna stay there with you if you go broke. Here, let me take it out of the wife shit. Let me take it out of the anybody other than me shit, right? Let's take the shit to the streets, right? Every chick that's ever fucked with me while I was in the game, fuck with me because I was in the game, right? Like that was part of the fucking allure, right? That
Mm-hmm.
this nigga is this nigga, right? And each woman in my life has traded off certain things that I wanted, right, from a woman for the security of the high value man in her mind. right? The nigga that is moving shit, so fucking money ain't no fucking real issue. Uh, got a roof over our head and it's fly, comfortable as a motherfucker. Ain't nobody coming in here fucking with you because they know they not only got to deal with me, but they got to deal with Nick and Frank and whoever the fuck else fuck with me. You feel what I'm saying? So all of this kind of shit is folded into the damn, that's K-Mac type of shit, right? Now you're in a relationship with me or whatever and shit, right? And I lose the bread, right? They go to jail, get out broke, right? Boom. Now I'm same chick around the motherfucker, but a nigga ain't buying nothing, right? She still is fucking with me. Why? Because I still got all that other shit. I'm still all those other things that checked off the list. And is it rough for a motherfucker not to be able to live a drug dealer's life right now? Hell fucking yeah. You know why? Because she got to drive up the fucking seaside with me in a bucket that breaks down and beg my cousin Nick to put me in the game to where niggas selling $5 purses. Now we going from getting money to $5 purses, and she riding this shit the fuck out. She didn't bounce. Feel what I'm saying? She didn't leave. Oh, fuck, this nigga ain't got money like that no more. I'm the fuck up out of here. Nah, she stuck that shit out because in her mind it was like, first of all, we may come. This nigga may look up tomorrow. This nigga didn't hit a lick for 100,000. Who the fuck knows? Because this nigga's like that, right? Secondly, if this nigga's choosing not to be in the game and selling these $5 purses, then this is what our life is gonna be like, and I'm gonna ride this shit out with this nigga because I know it's a bigger fucking place somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Of course.
See, and that's how I kind of feel about, I'm always gonna bring back to your situation. That's how I feel about your situation, Nick. Just because you couldn't physically go back to work didn't mean that you didn't have other means to still support the income, but she didn't even stick around for that. All she saw was that, well, nigga, you're not going to work no more. You never once asked her to pay no fucking bills. You never told her, well, I need you to start thinking outside the fucking box. You just physically couldn't do it because of what you was going through with your health problems. But like you said, like you want to point out, but your mind was always still there. You knew how to move around. You knew you was like, okay, I know I can't physically go out and do the work, but I got an analytical mind, so I still could bring in the bread. But that just told me, like, well, what the fuck was you in it for? And I'm still confused on that because you were still you. You was a paraplegic. You wasn't a vegetable and all that. What was, but in reference to what we're talking about, that's what I'm talking about.
And I believe that's most women nowadays anyway.
So again, what were you in it for? Because you might have been down and out, but you wasn't dead. You might have been down and out for a minute, and stuff like that. And I'm trying to correlate that with what she, it don't mean that I can't be, hell, tomorrow, hey, they might have had a new drug on the market and it agreed with me that allowed me to go back to whatever the fuck I was doing. So again, I kind of take that back to what are you in it for?
Yeah, I don't believe they built
when the money is when the money could be running low, at the end of the day, what were you in it for?
Yeah, it'll be the best answer from y'all because, what I'm saying, well, especially like Keith, because, like I'm so anti-drugs, I'm scared to even take aspirin. So, but it's the part where I think it was the idea of what it used to be. It didn't want to accept what it is now.
It's okay that you could say that she jumped the fucking ship before it even started thinking.
I believe that.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
It's okay to say she was a bum ass fucking chick. It's okay to say that because you run across them.
I ain't gonna let you stand. I ain't gonna let you stand on that.
It's okay for
You know
you
what
to
I'm saying?
say that.
I got a
Well,
I
well,
got
you
a
know
whole
what?
different take on
You
that.
know what? Hold on.
So
But that's just like a chick. You met her. She was a fucking dime. She had
yeah,
three
but
babies, and she's not exactly a dime no more. So now you want to leave her because she's not a dime anymore instead of working with her. Maybe y'all could have got on a workout plan. You could have worked with her,
eh,
and before you know
but
it, she was a
because
dime again. Maybe she needed some fucking motivation. You know, so
so how
sometimes
about so how about this?
I kind of bring it back to what are you in it for?
So through my whole thing, it was she received exactly what she needed, right? Because it brought her to that she never experienced this in before in life, right? So whatever this high level was of of somebody that's actually doing that. So like I said, all I could say is I checked all the boxes. I wasn't even thinking about that. It was about just family, confidants, and making sure everybody in the family, no outside. So I didn't, I didn't go say that I need to get. I didn't have
Hey,
like
yeah,
no outside entities. Like, oh, I'm gonna spend quality time with the homeboys playing video games, or you know, what I'm saying all the rest of the hobbies.
Mama
Like,
now.
you know, and you know, it was about family and taking care of family and building legacy. It wasn't about building her because it already we both started with nothing. It just morphed into all of these different things to whatever her content was. So she never was lacking or without anything, right? So, but the thing is that it was lacking is the muscles behind the business. So I am more than just physically moving stuff. For years, going to ignore it, but my mind could not precede her. I couldn't be the ultimate thinker because now she didn't put this idea on
she
her
couldn't
head.
fathom the thought of it. And she couldn't fathom that we may have to fucking struggle.
And I
You know what I'm
believe
saying?
that's the attitude of a
But
I
the
lot of
don't
thing is, I had
I don't think that was it at all.
no
I believe
because I
that's the
had set
attitude
in
of a lot
place
of women nowadays.
all the valuable stuff. It just started getting sold off. You know what I'm saying? I had in place. I had the 5 bedroom house with everything lavish you could should. I had cash money. Any kind of car you want to get it from Bentleys, Hummers, Prowlers, motors, whatever it was. She didn't have nothing. And I wouldn't say cut off. It just naturally happened that way. But the one
I
thing we
just
had
know a
is a
chick
base
that
of family.
was
The
scared to
one thing,
possibly go through the struggle instead of just riding it out and see where it may be because
Yeah, that's how most women be, man.
yeah. But the
I
thing
agree.
is,
that
what she didn't
sometimes, you know,
understand where it failed is right because what you were trying to break down the family support, it actually signed through because I can't say like I actually told her face to face, you failed me as a wife. You failed me just by these conversations, this fucked up ass conversation you have. You failed me because how could you think such things? And I don't have none of those motherfucking traits. So you try to speak me out of existence, or I didn't exist to get where you at. Now you could go ahead and take the lead. So I don't even know what you want to call it in this modern ass shit. Like she, it was like, was it the loss of the power couple? Was it the loss of your
the
position in the
status.
community, the status? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, where you see me, you see him. Now you don't see him. Now you see me. Now are you scared, or you been waiting for me for my downfall to be successful?
I don't think that it was none of that. Right. And this
Yeah,
is
that's
just
why I said y'all better answer
from
than
from
me.
from from the outside looking in, what I
What's the end
think.
of it?
And then I don't have as an intimate understanding of her as maybe your mom, but
Yeah, my mom need to weigh in too.
but pretty much pretty fucking close, right? I
Hmm.
think that what it was is it's exactly what Mama Nell just said. This is exactly what I was fixing to say. I think that she recognized that um, there was a change. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about the shit, the possessions, and it really wasn't about the status, other than the status of Nick and Pinky. You know what I'm saying? The ultimate fucking power couple. And with Nick going through what he was going through, and obviously having to change his the way that he's performing in the real world and shit, right? What she didn't want to accept was that had something to do with anything other than this nigga don't want to be married no more. And so everything that she did after that to me was just uh, really trying to uh, she was trying to prove to everybody that Nick didn't want to be married no more, that he wasn't sick, that he just wasn't happy with her. And nah, nigga, you laughing, right? But remember, this is that 50th birthday. Nigga, all the fucking shit. Her father had just passed away. Her fucking sisters and them was on some fuck shit. Her mama and them right around the corner calling every motherfucking day, dealing with the stress of that. And then you sick. Her rock. The nigga that was handling all that shit. You not able to function in the same way, but you Nick. So Nick ain't gonna say, look, man, I'm too fucked up to do this. Nick is gonna say, I feel a little fucked up. I was throwing up last night. Yeah, I might be an hour late. And then the motherfuckers expect, okay, well, here he is. What is this nigga doing for an hour? Because you're not fully withdrawn from, like, nigga, I can't do this. Right? So in her mind, if it's not that you can't do it, it's that you don't want to do it. Right? And all that kind of leads into the you don't want to be with me. Because I think that she connected Nick's happiness with all that shit. And Nick don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Not none of it.
So when Nick is saying, if Nick is saying, you know what, man, fuck that house in Victorville, man. We do a voluntary repo, it won't go on the credit, man. Fuck, we don't need no big ass house. The motherfuckers, 300 miles away. What the fuck we got that motherfucker for anyway? Keith don't live there. Fuck we got that motherfucker for? In her mind, she's saying, oh, this nigga's pulling out of the relationship. And then all her shit kind of like exhibited that. This nigga will come see me for Father's Day. We're going to kick it for Father's Day. That motherfucker called 72 times. This nigga had a miserable Father's Day. I was fishing and fucking gardening and and talking shit. I'm drunk, smoking pot. It's Father's Day. I'm a motherfucking father, a single father. Fuck what you got going on, nigga. You want us to lay on the couch and argue with Pinky all motherfucking weekend? Go ahead, nigga. But not the kid. God damn it. And I think that's what it was, man. That she was just feeling like you was pulling away, but you was just sick. You were sick and didn't want to accept being sick. Because you Nick, nigga. You your grandpa. Oh, yeah, I got a little case of the gout. Still gonna climb up this goddamn roof. 4:30 in the fucking morning. The fuck, man? Nigga, take 3 days off. Nigga, go get that bunion cut. Oh, I ain't got no time for that shit. That's you, nigga. That's you. For real, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like I go spend, you know what I'm saying, damn near $2,000 a night at the damn yacht club, you know what I'm saying, but sick the whole time for Thanksgiving weekend and my birthday, and I ended up, some normal stuff that I usually do, just to, you know what I'm saying, not floss, but just to all the way around, shopping, doing this, Diamond District, pick me up a couple of pieces, and go celebrate my birthday with a big bottle of Crystal Head.
So I don't see what that's all that different than what I'm saying. The status quo change. I mean,
but she
how
thought
she's
it
explaining the idea.
Status quo change. Now, if her insecurities allowed that to creep into her mind, then that's different. People deal with stuff mentally differently all the time.
Yeah, but she didn't go nowhere. She didn't leave.
Oh, y'all gave me the impression that she fucking bounced when we at the beginning when we started.
Nick live in the motherfucking mountains, Shell.
I thought he moved there after the fact to go to the Tibetan monks in the mountains.
No, so the thing is, I came out here to visit my friend.
Okay, well, I mean, I could admit that I had a different
That
perception.
nigga went to go get a loaf of bread, never came back. How about that?
Gave her what she was manifesting, what she thought was
This nigga
going.
left. This nigga called me one time. Yeah, man, I'm going to check out Erica who up in the mountains. And then I didn't hear from the nigga for 2.5 months. I'm talking about I'm calling this nigga's phone every day.
I was in the hospital for the whole month. A whole month. Dying and everything. Then he said, "Oh, what part of the game is that?" I didn't have a phone. My homeboy had to call my mama. And,
You don't even know how mad I was.
My mama.
Well, you know.
Look. I was so mad. Look, Shell. I was so mad.
Right.
I was so mad at this nigga. That nigga looked up at 2:00 in the morning and I was at the door.
Right.
Yeah,
nigga, what?
You know what I'm saying?
Right, Mama Nell. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Out of there.
Hey, no, but the whole
nigga
thing
took
was,
a knapsack.
So, and the thing was, not it came out of, that's when Keith said, "Hey, you better than me," because whatever it was, you know, in realistic time, like the energy, like Frank said, it brought me out here because a couple of weeks before that, my homeboy lost his daughter. And all he called and said, "Man, I need you out here, my daughter," and that was it. But this dude, you know what I'm saying? When he first came there, opportunity, but he became my friend. So he came to my wedding. You know, I came when he met his new girl. You know, and this is an accomplished businessman, right? But when he lost his child, I said, Yolanda, he called and said he lost his child. We need to go up there. Oh, I just stay right here. Oh, what? Don't be gone. No. Hopped in my lifted truck because I was coming in the mountains. And then 3 weeks after that, he said, "Come holler at me again." He going through some stuff. And that was the part that when I showed up, he was like, "Well, both of y'all at," because both of y'all are part of my life. And I like how Keith put it, because now it's breaking down. So I'm going to try to separate from all the stuff that you actually want to do together, because I'm seeing that we not going to be together because you're not working hard at being together. I like how you put that, man, because I never thought about it in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't the dysfunction of things. And initiation from the thought is mind-blowing to me. You know, because there was no infidelities. There was no lack of nothing in nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was strictly about family. Look, somebody say, "Hey, if you say, Nikki, come up to Louisiana right now, and I need you out here for 2 weeks to watch this fence."
Yeah, you know for real, mama. Still on the way back.
There you go.
One day.
All right.
And that's the whole thing. But nevertheless, I'm getting on the dating website and see what's going on, when I can put my bid out. But I'm gonna make sure that
you might as well hit up Kendra G and go on her show. She put the link in the description.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. It's scary.
Go on her live, just like you on this.
Yep, you just go in there, hop on the link. She gonna pull you up and ask you your questions, find you your soulmate.
Hop on this shit,
okay.
Hit her with a few Nickisms, and then you look up and your Instagram will be popping. And then Cora cut your fucking head off. How about that? Cora gonna X both your eyes out. This nigga talking about a fucking dating show sitting up in this girl's bedroom. What's wrong with this dude?
I don't even mess with her like that.
What's wrong with these alpha males? What's wrong with these high value men?
Sometimes you do what you want. Others do what they can.
Oh, like I say, I was on that Sigma male. You was like, don't even say that, because I read the Sigma book.
I gotta tell you.
We're not even gonna touch base on that. Nick, keep that. We're not even gonna do it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And we already bounced back, because I got y'all. Right on.
All right. Well, we got 1 minute left to 2 hours. End of another great one. Send a shout out to everybody that's in the comments. on both YouTube and Facebook and Twitch as well.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
What
if
else?
you joined us on Twitch or if you joined us on Facebook, jump over to the YouTube side of the game or the Twitch side of the game at Kingfish 104. Give us a sub over there. You guys know what it is. Always helps out. Join us on any platform on the replay. Play all night. Leave a comment to show up in real time. Me and Nick, we always like that. We up at 3:30 in the morning, trying to figure some shit out, watching with y'all in real time and answering whatever you might put up. If you joined on any platform, join us on Clubhouse. We had a room over there. We need to get a little bit more active in the room. We need more members. So jump on over to the Clubhouse, look up the Piranha Pond, and join our club right there. We open up rooms. We'll bring you up on stage, let you talk your ish without showing your face. Shout out to the Piranhas, man. Shout out to the fans too. You guys
Thank
been
y'all.
having we've been having a little bit more engagement. I want to congratulate the Piranhas on that. In any event, you guys know what it is, what it has been, what it always will be. We are Piranha Pond StreamCast live at 5/7 Central. And right about now, we are definitely